Well, after screwing around with it a little bit, I think I finally got it. The timing was off just a little bit. We've been screwing around with the timing ever since I put that distributor in, you know, and when I put it in, I put it pretty darn close, but the timing marks on the harmonic balancer are pretty well rusty and screwed up and hard to read. So you kind of had to go by ear and feel until you finally got it. And I think I finally got it. Now don't mind that in the background. That's just oil burning off the freaking valve covers. They might leak a little bit. I mean, it's a little grungy in there. But, you know, I mean, with it being an old truck, at least the damn thing still runs. That's all I can say, you know. And here's your proof now. Give me a second here, and I give you guys a startup on her. There we go. Still think I need to get a little bit bigger inlet because I think it's restricting the gas flow a little bit, but you got it running a hell of a lot better than it was. That little bit of adjustment in the timing seems to liven it right up, and it's not stalling when it starts up like it was before. And like I was telling you guys, over here, this fuel filter is just for the breather for the tanks, so that, you know, the tanks don't like suck to a point that you can't get any more gas out of it because of vacuum. So the idea was to run it and see if it can taste anything backflow, which I doubt it ever will. And here's the truck running now with the adjustment to the distributor and the timing, and now it runs perfect. It was running pretty good the other day, but I don't know, I guess I didn't have it tuned just right. It runs a little bit fast, but when you put it in gear, let's see if you can see it on the camera here. It's a little dark in here. Let's see, does this light work? Yeah, there you go. Let's see, I think I got the camera in the way. No, the steering wheel's in the way. Let's see, we'll turn the wheel just a little bit so you guys can see. Now, there's reverse. Doesn't sound too bad in reverse. Put it in neutral. There's drive. Sounds pretty good. Now I was stalling out before. It wasn't even running long enough to put it in gear before. And the temperature's up a little bit, but it's in the normal range, which I just replaced the temperature sending unit in this thing last year. And we placed the charging system, basically alternator, and the voltage regulator. The oil pressure is okay, you know. With the new distributor in there, it actually has better oil pressure than it did before. I think the distributor and the gearing were getting a little worn out, but this old truck is getting worn out, so doesn't smell as bad as it did. I think the timing was off and it was running too rich. I mean, it's still a little on the rich side, but not nearly as bad as it was before. So basically, you know, all I got left is to put those wires up there, tighten them up, and then when we start using this truck for plowing, we'll see if it has an issue with being plugged in with the fuel pump and the plow system here. But otherwise, it's running good again. It's a yard truck, so as long as it runs good, that's all that matters. You know, I seriously don't think my father's going to sell this to me. He doesn't want to. I think his idea is drive it and run it until it's dead and then scrap it, which is kind of a shame. It's not really a bad looking truck. I mean, let's see if you want a better look at it. I'll give you a look at it with the hood closed. That was a dumb idea. My starter switch is in there. Oh well. There's the camper on it. There's, you know, which we just use it, moving it around and setting it there until the fall fall or winter, whatever you want to say. Then we move everything around over the other side where the boat is. But this is the plow truck. And the plow, big old heavy duty. You can't really see it the greatest, but it's a big old heavy duty Fisher plow. And this plow has been around for longer than this truck has been around, because it was on a previous truck, a 79 Ford. Now, a 79, I wish he would have kept that, or wish I was old enough to buy it off of him. He traded it in for this truck. And then he found out after he traded in, if I can find the damn latch, after he traded in for this truck, that down, let's see, I think it's the passenger side, down the whole side of the passenger side, it hit a guardrail and just wasted, like dented and screwed up the whole side. And they fiberglassed up the truck, made it look good, sold it again. He didn't find this out until like a year or so later, and some guy goes, "Oh, my old truck," and he was telling him about, "Oh, I hit a guardrail, it was in the ice, slid into it, messed up the whole side of the truck." He goes, "It looks good." Well, the problem was, when he bought the truck, the dealership ran right out and said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that truck." And he had a magnet on there, which is always smart. When you buy a vehicle, you should look it over real good, make sure it's not a Bondo bucket, and, you know, check it out. Check out everything. Take somebody with you if you don't know what you're doing, to make sure if it's got any ticks or any other problems with it. Instead, you know, he went there, he knew what he was looking for, the lady's talking to him, so, "Oh, there's nothing, that truck's perfect." And there was Bondo all up the one side, and I believe it was the passenger side, which the passenger side actually still looks decent on this truck, except for the fender. That fender, it'd probably be better to replace it, that, or do like Pisser does and cut it out and replace. But I bet you if you got into this and actually took this fender off, it's worse than it looks. I mean, if you look along in here, you can't see it too well on the camera, but there's spots all along through it. So I'm gathering, yeah, it's not worth it. The bottom of it is gone. So this whole fender should be replaced. I've seen them on eBay and Craigslist and everything else. So parts, you can get parts, but depends on how much you want to pay and where you're getting it from. So anyway, my next project on this truck, he wants me to take out the radiator and go have it pressure tested and leak tested, because somewhere we have a coolant leak, and it keeps leaking out on the floor, you know, a little bit here and there when it gets warm or whatever. I don't know if it's something we're missing, something we don't see. Could even be the cap is burping off a little and we don't see it, or the overflow tank line could have a crack in it. But somehow we're losing coolant, yet when you check everything it seems like it's fine. But obviously if you're losing coolant and it's going on the floor, something's leaking. So that's my next project on this truck, is to take the radiator and go have it tested. And once that's tested, and we see whether it needs a replacement, whether it needs to be repaired, or whether it's fine. But like I said in the beginning of earlier videos, which were taken actually the same day I took the videos for the last video you guys just seen, this video is for both tow wrecker, Pisser, and anybody else that's interested. But this truck, I have a couple pictures I'm going to show of what it looked like in the past. I have 2 pictures of this truck, and then 1 picture to show his newer 96. It's not new anymore, but the picture is of when it was brand new, when he first got it, parked actually right here. In front of this barn of his. And the other picture was taken over on this side, the second door right here. And this was taken years ago, probably about 10, 15 years ago, which at that time, you'll see that there was posts when I was looking out this direction. The posts are gone. There's an addition built onto the house since then. So, a lot of changes over the years. Same truck though. This truck he bought when I was, what the hell was I? He bought it in 97, or no, excuse me, 87. Big difference, about 10 years. Bought it in 87. I was 6 years old when he bought this truck, and it was 2 years old when he bought it. So the guy that owned it before him, I don't know if he had it on a lease or if he bought it outright or how he had it, but after he had it cracked up, he decided he wanted a different truck or however it worked. And so then my father bought it. Now when he went to look at this truck, there was a cap on the back, and he didn't want a cap. So they kept it, which now he tells me he should have kept it, but that's beside the point. But this style of truck, the extended cab long box, if you're looking for them, they're a harder one to find, because they use the frame for the regular cab long box for your extended cab short boxes. That's the same frame, it's just a bigger cab, shorter box. So if you want an extended cab or crew cab long box, you got to look for them, or if you want to buy a new one, you can special order. But at $40,000 to $60,000, I don't think so. You know, I mean, I can't afford one of them. If you can, good for you. But this truck, I like it. I want it. He don't want to sell it or give it to me. And unfortunately, when it comes time, it'll probably get scrapped. If I can, at that time, have a truck and can take parts off of it before he scraps it, if it gets to that point, which it eventually will, then I'll see what I can get off of it. But I'd love to take the front clip off of it, at least the headlights and the grill and all that, set it aside. And if I can get another 80s truck, even if it's like the ugly looking 87 to 91 design, and put these parts on that. It wasn't until, oh geez, was it 92? I think it was 92 when they changed the front end, the second, or well, that was the third time, that they changed it to just a single round window or single window, because this was not in the newer design. The 96 model especially, that I know for a fact, I think it was like 92 to 96, this was eliminated and it was just one window. And it was also 96 or 97, as some say. That was the last year for the vent windows, and then they went to a solid window. So this truck, you know, it's also got another feature to it that makes it a rare truck, because it was also the very last year, because in 96 or 86, I keep saying 90s, 86, they went to fuel injection. And under here, if I take the cover off, there's a carburetor. 85 was the last year for the carburetor. 86, they went to the fuel injected system, and from then on it stayed fuel injected. Now, in some ways, I think a carburetor is cooler or nicer because you get a different sound compared to the fuel injection. However, you get different opinions, and I got a piece of crap light here that does not want to stay working. Should just throw it out. I like the truck. It's got issues. I mean, you'd either have to take the cab off and repair it or replace it. Now, with somebody listening to this gibberish that I'm babbling away, when you take the cab off, okay, and you put a new cab on, does the VIN number come with the dash? If you take the dash off, does the VIN number stay with the dash, or does it stay with the cab itself? Because that's one thing I want to know. If you take and you put a new cab, say like I put a 96 cab on this truck, and I wanted, you know, to keep it the same VIN number and everything, would that come off with the dash, or would that stay with the cab itself? Somebody let me know. Thanks. Hey guys, I forgot to film up to now. Forgot all about it until a little while ago, but I got a brand new radiator that I just put in this truck today, and can't see it too well, but it's a brand new radiator, and just got to finish putting up the lines. Got to put on the lower line, tighten up the upper red line, and fill her up. Put on a new overflow tank line. I also even replaced that fitting that I was talking about for the gas let's see, where did I put it? Here it is. This is the one that I put on there. It was very similar to what was supposed to be on there, but this is a little bit smaller on this one than it is on the other one. The other one's a straight shot and it's wider, so this is almost the same thing. But now it should get the proper gas flow, and it should start the way it's supposed to. So, right now, I'm packaging up the old one, because we're not sure if it's junk or not. We think it has a leak, but, you know, it might be able to get fixed, or it might not be that bad. But we're saving it just because he wants to save it. And so, basically, finish tightening these two hoses, fill it up, and give her a shot and see what happens. I also cleaned up inside the cab here. All the wires are now zipped up and put away like they're supposed to be, cleaned up. And I fixed the hood latch. No more channel locks or vice grips. And this actually works now. Had to replace the cable with a actual heavier duty cable. That would be this reddish orangish cable here that goes over here. And so now I got it all put back and tried it out without closing the hood. Just push this latch down, and then went into the cab and pulled the handle, and it works just fine. So all I got to do, fill up and tighten up the hoses, fill up the coolant system, and I'm going to put a little RTV, black RTV there, because I put the JB Weld on a connection inside and here, and I guess I was pulling too much and the JB Weld didn't hold here. But it did hold, luckily enough, inside the truck where I needed it most. My light come with me here. Great. Let's see if I can get you a good view of it. Kind of looks like a globby mess if I can get the camera to focus. Let me see. And there it is. What I had to do is the cable used to be at the end of that little metal square shaft there. It snapped off of it. So what my father tried to do before, and it was a good idea, was take and put a hose clamp on there, tighten it down, and they tried to braze it. But so much heat, it defeated the purpose. So I used JB Weld on there, and now it stays right on when you pull the cable. So that should do its part, and as long as the JB Weld holds, everything should work. And I got the fuse cover back on. So everything is cleaned up under here, and everything is basically done under here. I could remove this cable right. Let's see if I can get the light in the right spot here. Could remove this cable right here, but it's not necessary. It was a manual choke cable that we used for a short time, but it was backwards. You had to push it in for the choke and pull it out to turn it off, so it was totally backwards. So we went back to electric choke, and yeah, it works. Oh, that was good. Close the thing into the door. Alright. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through me filling up the whole system with coolant, but, you know, I'll give you a shot when I fill it up and test it out so that you can see it running again. So until then, I'll see you in a few. Okay, you guys get to see it start for the first time since everything's been done, and we see if we have any leaks or if everything goes as planned. Where the heck I had you guys before, but let's see here. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute while I check my wires. Okay, now let's try this again. I had to fix the connection, and we'll see if it'll start now. She didn't like that too much. Well, I think my adjustment with the distributor before might have been too much. So, I don't know. I'll have to work on it. We'll see what happens. Well, if she starts up the test that I just did here, you know, I didn't have it on for you guys, but I did a few adjustments and adjusted the timing and went over a few things, so hopefully it should be ironed out now. I also had to change a few hose clamps and go over a couple other things, but I think I've got it now. Kind of a pain in the butt when you think you got it and you don't, but now, because I just changed the radiator, you have to run the heater here. Make sure you get it run through the system, and hopefully I can get everything, all the bubbles out of the system, and once we do that, then we'll go from there. But it's running good now. From what I can tell, I don't have any leaks either. Even the fuel filter is running up to where it's supposed to. Makes me happy to know that much. So, to be honest with you, I think I'm pretty much done with it. Everything's been tightened, everything's been checked. The only thing I might have to do is check the coolant one more time, maybe tomorrow morning when it's cooled down. But otherwise, this project I think is done. Oh yeah, it's blowing out some great heat now. Yep, I think it's safe to say that this project is over with. And just so I thought I'd let you guys know, I addressed the problem that I had with my camera glitching. I bought a new 8 gig memory card. This one is a class 4. I found out by looking at it. The other one was a class 2, so that could have been part of the problem. So hopefully this comes out a lot better, and you'll still have a few videos from my class 2 card. This will be added with some of the other ones, but that's the end of this project. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on another video. Bye.